Brought to you by Natural Healer. www.naturalhealer.com.au. All rights reserved. If you've ever read or listened to my other blogs, you'll know that I often ask you to think about or act from the place of who you really are quite a bit. But when I say that, some of you might think, what do I truly mean? Well, I feel we're all spiritual creatures having a human experience, and because of that, we're kind of out of our spiritual comfort zone. Encapsulated in our physical selves, our inner beings have an inherent need to know what we're on this planet for, what our calling is, what's the purpose of our lives, and so on. The answers to many, if not all those questions, lies in knowing, who am I really? So when someone asks you, who are you? You'll naturally respond with your name. We all would, because that's how we identify ourselves to others, but that's not who we are, now is it? Depending on the situation, you might even elaborate with what your job title is and where you live, but again, that's not who you truly are. You identify yourself as John or Jane Smith, office manager from Birmingham, but deep down you know you are something much more. If you're anything like how I was when I first truly stumbled across that question, meaning when I really thought about it, the answer wasn't forthcoming. I'd think it, my mind would go blank, my eyes would glaze over, and then I'd busy myself with doing something else because, quite frankly, it was too hard of a question, and I didn't know how to begin working out the answer, even though I knew it was important. Now, I'm quite sure you're not a single-celled organism, and if you are, bravo for getting onto the internet and working out how to read or listen to my blog. So you're a dynamic, complex myriad of energy intertwined in a physical body, topped off with personality, taste, moods, and so much more. But if we were at a party together, and someone came over to me and asked, who is that? Would I be explaining your being very well if I just said, Jane Smith, office manager from Birmingham? Of course not. But why? Because you are more than words can describe. So how do you get to the answer of who am I really? You undress your soul, peel back those layers, and let's get that glorious energy of yours naked. Now the way I undress my soul is by asking myself a series of little questions, which I mix up quite a lot to see how my response changes. Eventually I end up right where I need to be, my answer of who I am. And you know what? No matter what mood I'm in, where I'm at in my life, the answer is always the same. And for those wondering, no, I cannot tell you who I am because, my sweet friend, the answer isn't communicated in words. It's communicated through feeling. Okay, so you game to try? All right, let's get naked. Ask yourself these 3 simple questions. First off, how would I feel if I didn't have my car anymore? Now, sure, you might be a little disgruntled, but does not having a car or whatever other material object it is, does that really change you? Now, if you can't get past this first question without tears welling up in your eyes at the loss of a material object, then I really recommend you go over to my homepage and download the free self-healing book. Now, question number 2. Would I be a different person deep down if I lost my job? Of course, your cash flow in order to live is important, but if you can't attach a title to your name anymore, does it truly morph who you are inside? Question number 3. How would I introduce myself if I didn't have a name? Now, I love this question because it forces you to imagine yourself walking up to strangers, then sticking out your hand and saying, hi, I'm... I love it because in my mind, I immediately go to hug the person in place of saying my name. What do you do? Are you truly what your name is? I think you know you're something more. Now, can you see how asking these questions gets you to look within, to awaken your sense of independence of all the layers of clothing your soul has been hiding under all these years? Once you've undressed your soul, you realize that you aren't your name. You aren't your job or your title. You aren't a victim. You're not a hero. You're not a mother, a son, a winner, or a loser. All those words are simply signposts to help others find where you are in that moment, but they aren't you. They can't hold a candle to you. Now, I hope you've enjoyed undressing your soul with me and getting closer to the answer of who am I? Just remember, the you, the real you, is simply glorious, beautiful you. And no one can ever cover that up, ever. And there will never be a name for it. Namaste, my sweet friends.